Welcome to Spectrum News at 12. I am Rita Inung, coming to you live from Uyo. Let's take a look at the headlines. The presidency says Nigeria's inflation will drop to single digit. The court grants Emefiele's request for forensic expert over $4.5 billion fraud. Plus, Palestinians flee Gaza City as Israel launches major ground offenses. Stay tuned for details and more in a moment. Good afternoon and many thanks for staying tuned. We begin the news from the national scene where the Special Advisor to the Presidency on Economic Matters, Tope Fashua, has assured Nigerians that the inflation rate is heading towards a single digit, which according to him will translate to better living conditions for the masses. Fashua gave the assurance in a live broadcast today. According to him, the drop in the inflation rate has impacted on prices of food items, which are beginning to ease. The presidency assurance followed headline inflation data just released by the National Bureau of Statistics. The NBS said the inflation rate eased to 20.12% in August 2025 compared to the July 2025 rate, which stood at 21.88%. And from the judiciary now, where the Lagos State Offences Court in Ikeja has granted former Central Bank of Nigeria Governor Godwin Emefiele permission to engage forensic experts to examine WhatsApp conversations and a mobile device tendered as evidence in his ongoing $4.5 billion and $2.8 billion fraud trial. Justice Rahman Oshodi gave the ruling after Emefiele's lead counsel Olalekun Ojo SAN applied for leave to allow as an independent forensic expert inspect the handset and verify the authenticity of the extracted WhatsApp messages already admitted as exhibits. Emefiele, alongside his co-defendant Henry Omoile, is standing trial on 19 counts bordering on abuse of office, receiving gratification, corruption, and fraudulent property transactions, including $4.5 billion and $2.8 billion fraud trial. The charges were brought against them by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. On electoral matters, the Independent National and Electoral Commission, INEC, has also said at this point that registered voters online in the past 4 weeks of the ongoing continuous voters registration has reached 4.45 million Nigerians. The Commission said out of the figure, about 509,999 people have concluded the in-person registration. The Commission said out the figure in a live broadcast today. The INEC National Commissioner and Chairman of the Information and Voter Education Committee, Sam Olumekun, gave the figure. The Commissioner added that the CVR has been suspended in Anambra State until after the November 11th governorship election. He said INEC also suspended online pre-registration in the Federal Capital Territory to allow for ward registration in the territory ahead of the area council elections scheduled for February. Away from that, on matters of education, the Senior Staff Association of Nigerian Universities, SANU, and the Non-Academic Staff Union of Educational and Associated Institutions, NASU, have given the federal government a 7-day strike notice over unresolved issues affecting non-academic staff in universities. The two unions, in a letter, frowned at what they termed unjust disbursement of earned allowances to university staff, the non-payment of outstanding allowances, and other unresolved issues. The letter, signed by the President of SANU, Mohammed Ibrahim, and the General Secretary of NASU, Peters Adeyemi, reminded the Minister of Education, Tunji Alausa, of a June 18, 2025 letter from the Joint Action Committee, JAC, of NASU and SANU. The letter emphasized the urgent need for intervention in the outstanding labor matters affecting their members. The unions maintain that they are compelled to serve a formal notice of 7 days, effective from yesterday, for the federal government to address the agitations, failing which members would embark on a series of legitimate industrial actions, including strikes, to press home their demands. In a separate development, the Socio-Economic and Accountability Rights Project, (SERAP), has urged President Bola Ahmed Tinubu to direct the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunji-Ojo, and the Comptroller General of the Nigerian Immigration Service, Kemi Namdap, to immediately reverse the recent hike in international transport passport fees. SERAP described as arbitrary, unlawful, unjustified, and